The largest anti-war demonstration in Britain since 2003. Remember we all protested against the Iraqi war? There were millions of people in the streets. Had no effect. I expect the same thing with this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
In 2003, when over 1 million people protested the illegal invasion of Iraq. So in Britain, they have now 300,000 people march and rally in London Saturday against Israelis' war on Gaza. So that's from London. That's a shot from London. Look at that. That's
Boom.
A lot of people.
Well, the effect will be probably further crackdowns, is my guess.
That's my guess. Wow. Wow. There's in Paris. Look, there's Paris. So that was Britain. That was the UK. This is, I still don't know the difference. But here is Paris.
Yeah. Where it's illegal to have pro-Palestinian rallies, according to the government, they were shutting down. So this is really awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
In France made it illegal to do a pro-Palestinian protest?
It seems kind of strange that would be a thing that on, well, I don't know how many sides of the aisle they got, but that universally, remember the BDS would like divest from Israel, which I wasn't part of or wouldn't even know what to do for that, and I wouldn't have been involved. I couldn't believe they tried to pass laws to make it illegal to not buy a thing you don't want from somewhere.
Right.
Like, that's crazy.
Chomsky's against that too, by the way. He's against BDS, which tells you a lot about him. Here we go. Wow, look at that. Wow. Not hundreds, not thousands, but tens of thousands flood D.C. So here's in D.C.
Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide!
Wow.
Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide!
I would really like.
Look, tell them about Dresden. See what they say.
See what they say. I would really, I want to hope and wish that this has an effect. If history is any guide, it will have no effect because the war machine gets what the war machine wants. And that's that. Everybody was from around the world was in the streets against the Iraq war. It happened. It ain't stopping. 50,000 people in Mexico City standing up for Palestine today. In the audio, an old man shares his emotion, saying he's reminded of Mexican student protests in 1968 before the MX government murdered its own students. Again, I can't.
Estoy muy emocionado. Hay mucha gente.
No me gusta. In India, protests in support of Palestine were organized in the Kerala region. Let's watch a little bit of that. Anyone for Gaza. Here's Spain. Over 70,000 people gathered in Barcelona for a protest in support of Palestine. Okay. So there you go. Wow, that I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but if history is any guide, these protests won't do anything. I hope they do. It's not until you figure out a way to shut down capitalism like the truckers did in Canada, that's what really gets their attention. They've just, this idea that protests make, they maybe used to do things, protests like that. But again, from the Iraq War to now, those to occupy Wall Street, it does it nothing unless you're like the truckers in Canada and you figure out how to screw up their capitalism. That's a big deal.
Also, that will not work in Germany because we did do that to their capitalism, and we blew up their pipeline.
We blew up their pipeline,
really
and they
screwed up their capitalism, but they took it like
they took
bitch
it
puppets, I guess.
They took it like the cucks that they are in Germany now.
But Canada plays,
Yeah. So worldwide protests in support of Palestine. I don't really. What do I know, right? But
I don't even have to support Palestine to
you
know
don't have to
that
support
you shouldn't
Palestine.
starve all the population.
Right.
Yeah.
And that saying that out loud is so crazy. I know if Putin laid siege to Kiev or Kyiv or whatever, and then said no one can have water, power, food until Zelensky surrenders. And they go, hey, that's a war crime, Putin. He goes, no, it's Zelensky's fault for not surrendering.
Right. That's
all those innocent people have to Dresden. I know that would cause kind of a stir if Putin did something like that. Not our most valuable ally in the region.
Craig, you want anything to say?
Yeah, I just want to finish up with saying that, number one, this is a really good thing. These are pro-Palestinian, which is like you just said, Kurt, pro-human, right? People try to kind of frame these as pro-Hamas. These people are supporting Hamas.
People, and I'm for it.
They're not. These are pro-Palestinian marches out there, and I think it's great because this is real racism here, and the people are getting it. Now, I think it's important, Jimmy, that you keep bringing up that what happened with the Iraq War kind of fizzled out and nothing changed. They still got their way. And I think it's important to bring that to the table. But I do like the fact that people have recognized what's going on and they're standing up for it. And the main thing they want from all these protests is very simple. First things first. Cease fire.
Yeah, right.
Just let's stop the fucking bombing. Let's stop it going on. Let's stop murdering innocent civilians and get a ceasefire. So
their score has to be equal by now, right?
That's you would think. So that's where I come down on this. We need a ceasefire and the implementation of international law, and that's not the rules based order bullshit that the United States. I'm talking about actual international law, and I'm talking about a ceasefire. But there are even people against that, which is just unconscionable. Which shows you why there seems to be no answer or solution for this when people won't even abide by international law and they consider themselves to have the moral high ground. How you can go against international law, how you can be for war crimes, and how you legitimize war crimes as a legitimate way to wage war. That you are now the thing you claim to be fighting.
Really
You've now become the thing. Just like that, you became the thing you claim to be fighting.
I condemn Hamas's attacks on innocent civilians, and that's why I condone way bigger attacks on civilians. What are you talking about?
Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show in Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, Levittown, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, and Palmdale, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.